What up, everybody? Am I live? Am I live? Yes, I am. Am I live? All right, here you go. Happy Wednesday morning, July 1st. Holy crap, it's already July. By the way, I gotta head out to DMV soon enough to renew my stuff, my registration. But before I go, I want to discuss this with you guys because this has been quite the development, and I want to hear what you think about this one. Um, so let me give you the context. Um, Ray Fisher, there you go. Ray Fisher, you know the guy, you know the name. He is the person who played Cyborg in Justice League movie. And let me give you further context. Do you remember what happened the year that Justice League was supposed to come out? Unfortunately, Zack Snyder had a personal family tragedy, so WB and DC, Jeff Johns and all those guys, the producers, they brought in Joss Whedon in. Joss Whedon, of course, is the director of the Avengers and Avengers Ultron. And these are big movies, big Marvel movies that were successful. And Joss Whedon himself was a DC fan. Remember, he at one point wanted to make a Wonder Woman movie. This was like years ago. So he was brought in, and of course, it's like everybody was like, "Yeah, that makes sense." Joss Whedon is like the reasonable person to pick for this kind of project. To step in and replace Zack Snyder. Understandably so. Nobody was like giving a fit about it. It's like, oh my god, why Joss Whedon? No, it was like, yeah, it totally makes sense. A comic book guy like Joss Whedon, whatever. So everybody was like in on it. It's like, oh, this is gonna be great. And then the movie kind of sucked. At least in my opinion, it was terrible. A lot of people was gonna have been giving it the benefit of the doubt all these years, kind of like in defense of Justice League arguments. But as you know, Zack Snyder cut Justice League is coming out next year, and now ever since that announcement that Justice League Zack Snyder cut will come out on HBO Max in 2021, there have been like speculations and assumptions, and some of them are true about what Zack Snyder will put in, or what scenes will be included in his cut that were not in Joss Whedon's cut. Remember Joss Whedon had to do some reshoots and did rewrite of the Justice League. So what the movie in 2017, it was a big chunk of it was just Joss Whedon's instead of Zack Snyder. Um, so here's a video from a few years ago at Comic Con. They were promoting, they as in the cast of Justice League were promoting the movie, and Ray Fisher said this I, about Joss Whedon, and he praised Joss Whedon as the right man for the gig after Zack Snyder had to step down. So I don't know if you can hear it. Let me make it big for you here. I think I've turned on the audio, right? Let me see here. Let's repeat that again. So there you go. He basically said, "Yeah, Josh is a great guy. Zack Snyder picked the right person to finish up and clean up after him." Of course, that's the praise that Ray Fisher said about Josh Whedon at Comic Con. And everybody was like commenting about, look at that, Jason Momoa's face. He's like so uncomfortable, maybe because he knew the truth. Which leads us to these past few days, including today. When Ray Fisher tweeted this out, he said, I would like to take a moment to forcefully retract every bit of this statement. All right, so some say, now I don't know how credible it is, but some say that part of Zack Snyder's Justice League cut that will be on HBO Max next year is that there will be more scenes of Ray Fisher's Cyborg, more scenes of Cyborg that, for whatever reason, Josh Whedon did not include or chose to leave out in the 2017 version. And another theory also said there will be more scenes of the Flash and stuff like that. So there will be more stuff. I'm betting this is gonna be a long ass Zack Snyder cut movie. Because this is gonna, like, here you go, guys. He's gonna give everything that he worked on before he stepped down. So Ray Fisher now came out like, you know what? Maybe I don't know. I don't know what is in Ray Fisher's heart. I'm not a psychic, but I'm guessing right now maybe he feels comfortable or safe enough to reveal, the truth, because clearly in this video, like I said, they were promoting the movie. So if you're saying like, hey Rama, that's not cool of him. Like, why is he trashing the director who made, the movie that he's in or he stars in? Well, at that time he has to promote it. That's just, and he's probably under a contract, and and you don't want to. If you're Ray Fisher, you don't want to be the news. You want the movie to be the news. You want people to flock to the theaters to check it out. You want the movie to succeed, no matter, even though deep down you probably think it's shitty. Uh, and so it leads us to today. Today at 9 a.m. earlier this morning. So can you see it? Let me make it big for you guys here. Another tweet by Ray Fisher. How do I make this big? Here, let me make it bigger here. Boom. Ah. All right. Ray said, Josh Whedon. I'm sorry. Ray said, Josh Whedon's on-set treatment of the cast and crew of Justice League was gross, abusive, unprofessional, and completely unacceptable. So it's gross, all right, abusive, unprofessional, and unacceptable. He was enabled in many ways by Jeff Johns and John Burke, the producers of the movie. Accountability. He basically what he wants is to emphasize accountability in entertainment. And here's the thing, though. So this brings up a lot of questions, right? Because Ray did not specify what he meant by gross, abusive, unprofessional, and unacceptable. Now, in the past, Joss Whedon had been accused of being a hypocrite, because he always championed feminism, or seemingly so, feminism in his TV shows or movies. But I think his ex-wife wrote this essay saying, "Oh, he was just using that to misuse his power and stuff like that." So it's a he says, she says scenario. And unless Ray Fisher specifies what these adjectives, consist of, what exactly that Joss Whedon did on the set that was gross, abusive, unprofessional, and unacceptable, then you can file this also under he says, she says, or in this case, he says, he says. Another question that it brings up is, okay, you accuse Joss Whedon of all these things. Why haven't we heard the same accusations coming from the cast of the Avengers? I mean, by now they should be also feeling safe to come forward, right? To corroborate what Ray Fisher said here on these tweets. But none of them have actually said, yeah, or Chris Evans or Robert Downey Jr., none of them have come tweeted out and said like, hey, yeah, I second that. That's exactly what happened to us too on the set of the Avengers Age of Ultron. We haven't heard that yet. um, maybe they don't want to cause scandal to the whole MCU, Marvel Studios in totality, over one Josh Whedon. Maybe. I'm just assuming here. But that's also another question, right? Another question that it brings up. Like, okay, the first question was, what are these gross, abusive, unprofessional, unacceptable behaviors? I'm not saying that in defense of Josh Whedon, but you could be more specific. Number two, how come the Avengers guys haven't said the same thing or second you on this tweet, Ray? Um, the Now, here's the thing: directors being tough on actors on the set. That's also an ongoing something that's debatable for a long time. Um, Let me give you an example. Like Anne Hathaway, he said, she said that Christopher Nolan banned chairs on the set of The Dark Knight Rises, right? Apparently, that was a big deal on Twitter also a few days ago. Like, wow, I can't believe everybody's like so up and up arms about it. Like, my God, Christopher Nolan doesn't let people sit down. What the heck, man? That's not cool. And then Christopher Nolan had to like come up with a statement saying, "Hey, I didn't ban all the chairs, just that those director type chairs, surrounding the cameras. Those are the ones that I did not want to be crowding my set." Um, so that's why I go back again to the first question. I'm not saying Ray Fisher lied, and I'm not saying this in defense of Joss Whedon, but maybe for some actors, I don't know, some behaviors of directors uh, go too far, while some other actors would see it as, hey, that's just the director, um, being managing their set. The director has the freedom to set the rules of the set however they want. Now it brings us back also to the case of Megan Fox. Do you remember Megan Fox? When Megan Fox called Michael Bay, or she basically said, working under Michael Bay. This was before the whole Hazapalooza about Megan Fox being 15 years old in and Bad Boys 2 a few weeks ago. This was about Megan Fox saying, "Yeah, Michael Bay was so tough on us. Working under him was like working for Hitler," something like that. And of course, the Hitler comment got her fired because producer Steven Spielberg did not like that comment. Um, so I guess what I'm trying to say is there a level of expectation? There you go, level of expectations on the part of the actors, that when they are on the set, that they expect the director to behave not too much, that, okay, you're the director, you can tell me what to do, but don't do anything that would risk I don't know. What are those expectations? I guess that's what my question is. I'm not doing a good job of phrasing it for you guys. Because the director, Josh Whedon, Nolan, whoever it may be, or Michael Bay, they might come back with a counter argument saying, "Hey, I didn't do it abusively or unprofessionally. This is just how I run my set. This is how I run my set. So I expect the set to be run this way if I'm in charge of it." And so maybe that clashes with the expectations from the actors. Do you see where I'm getting at? Um, Unless, of course, Ray specifies that Josh Whedon's gross, abusive, unprofessional, unacceptable behaviors are this, and this, and then we see that it does cross the line, then case is closed. Then we will be on the side of Ray Fisher 100%. Um, but at this point, there are questions lingering because of these statements or these tweets. These questions that are brought up because of these tweets. So, excuse me. But Ray Fisher does receive a lot of support on Twitter. Ellen Barkin, the actress, she said, unacceptable behavior on a set by a director, protected by producers. Shocking. She's being sarcastic, of course. A lot of people were going after her for that, but she's basically positively responding to or agreeing with Ray Fisher with that statement. So you can see it here. Not a lot of blue check mark, but you can see a lot of the responses here. BD says, damn man, I remember how excited you were about all this too. I'm sorry you didn't have the dream experience that this role should have been. I hate that. The best is yet to come for you. And I feel for Ray Fisher because I like the character Cyborg. All right, I even like the character Cyborg in Doom Patrol, the small size version of Cyborg. It's a great character, and the character did not get a fair shake in the 2017 version. That's for sure. So that is not debatable. And if you remember, Cyborg was supposed to have his own movie too, right? We're talking about right now the Flash standalone movie. Michael Keaton might reprise his role as Batman in the Flash, but nobody's talking about Cyborg movie. That was supposed to happen too. That was like, and then it just went into oblivion after 2017 Justice League movie. So Ray Fisher deserves, a chance to really, explore this character more than what was shown in the 2017 movie. But let me throw this question at you then. What do you guys think about this controversy? Are you on the side of Ray Fisher, or are you on the side of Joss Whedon? Do you think that directors, film directors in general, whomever they may be, Christopher Nolan, Michael Bay, Joss Whedon, or Steven Spielberg, do you think that directors in general should be expected to make the rules of their set to be a bit accommodating to the actors? Meaning they shouldn't be too harsh, they shouldn't be too bossy, they shouldn't be, oh my god, you can't have chairs around the camera, stuff like that. Do you think they should lessen their strictness on those little things? And my other question is, what are your theories as to what Ray Fisher is accusing Joss Whedon of? What do you think Ray Fisher means by gross, abusive, unprofessional, and unacceptable? What are your assumptions on that as far as Joss Whedon is concerned? So let me know your thoughts. I want to hear what you think about this. This is very fascinating. I gotta head out now, so thanks for tuning in, and share your thoughts about this in the comment section down below. As always, subscribe to my channel, press that like button, ring that bell, and if you can help support me, please do so at patreon.com/ramascreen. Have a good Wednesday, everybody. Have a good Wednesday. Let's rock this.